Starting
Good eve.
live.
Okay, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
So I'm here to talk about something, and we've all know that the globalists, people who are trying to take over the world,
Yeah, the
these
New World
banks,
Order.
yeah, they've been offing people. Hillary has been cleaning out her closet. Uh,
Yes.
People have been found dead. They tried to kill Julian Assange. Somebody tried to break in. Somebody connected to the DNC was killed. There's been a lot of people turning up dead lately. Well, recently, somebody who I personally have known has turned up dead, and that is Barry Shamish. Now, who is Barry Shamish? Well, he was an Israeli, researcher who was kicked out of Israel by the Shin Bet and the Mossad for trying to expose, the globalists and the CFR and, some of the things that they were doing. Recently, I have an article here. Barry Shamish passes away. Canadian-born Israeli writer and Rabin assassination conspiracy theorist found dead at age 64. Now, we know this guy was found dead from a heart attack.
Yeah. That's that's how those special services operate. They can kill you and make it look like a heart attack or a car accident or a suicide.
Yeah. And so I'm going to post the link right here if anyone wants to read it.
Yeah, Russian Bear. Do you remember a few years ago, a guy was assassinated because they hacked his smart car and made him crash?
I remember that too.
Remember
No,
that?
I don't.
That was a
Sorry.
big story. Yeah, man.
Okay. Ukraine celebrates 25 years of its independence, but what they have done, nothing but another color revolution, wars, and Russophobia. Nothing.
Yeah. I got some news on Syria.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Recently in Syria, I guess they've been trying to, the globalists have been trying to overthrow Assad for some time, and they've been doing a pretty bad job. I mean, they've been doing and I mean it's good that they're doing a bad job because it seems like they're losing since the Russians came in. But what they've found recently was this administration, Obama, they found a new amount of American weapons, tow missiles. This is just utter treason. Anyone who would try to sell weapons, to these terrorists down there. And I got the footage. If it's possible, I can share screen here.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, let me try to share screen.
We were just arming the moderate rebels there, Goy. No need to worry.
Yeah, friendly.
The moderate ones only chop off straight people's heads.
No. The moderate rebels, they chop off heads moderately. The radicals doing it radically.
Listen, man, the moderates only do it twice a week. The
Yeah.
radicals do it more than twice.
Maybe every day, each day.
Yeah.
Are there beheading quotas in the Islamic State? like in the Boy Scouts?
Oh man, I can think about it. Now. If I can get this to stop lagging, I can get this video up. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, they found, this is new equipment, guys. This isn't some, maybe I'm no expert and I could be wrong, but it looks like this is fresh, equipment, US aid is just right,
And
Let's see if I... This is
don't you find it funny that ISIS never attacks Israel?
yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah, they attack every other country in the Middle East besides Israel.
Besides
they kill
Israel.
Muslims,
Yeah.
They kill Christians.
And besides Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is the sponsor.
Yeah, I guess they're smart enough to know not to bite the hands that feed them.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
not like Tyrone. They're not like Tyrone. But yeah, but like, how ISIS works is they're definitely like some kind of proxy army, because if you look, they have like a base very close in the Sinai where they could easily strike Israel, but did they do it? No. So if they were really serious about their claims, don't you think they would pull them off?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, like it's.
because
And they
because a rabid dog can bite its owner.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, and I've read reports that Israeli soldiers actually treat ISIS militants. They treat their wounds. So obviously there's some sort of collaboration between Israel and ISIS.
For sure.
And probably the U.S. and ISIS, most likely.
Yeah, the CIA and ISIS.
Here's the footage.
Because the Russian people are so upset about the Olympics. Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's kind of acting weird. Am I being shown, or are they showing me right now? I think it should be working.
Actually, what did you have to say about the Olympics? I'm interested.
About the Olympics. Well, it's very dirty. The U.S. is playing very dirty game. They just ban disabled people from participations in the Olympics, and this is this is so this is despicable. I mean, I would understand why would they ban the able-bodied athletes, but with disabled, man, this is so below, below, I don't know just how to say it. Just the emotions are overwhelming me. So
Yeah, from what I understand, there's a lot of corruption in the Olympics generally.
absolutely.
Like a lot of athletes, regardless of what country they're from, do take performance-enhancing drugs, and it seems to me that the Olympic Committee was just trying to pick on Russia for some reason, when people from all countries take performance-enhancing drugs.
Absolutely. Look at Serena Williams. I mean, is she? I don't think she's a woman. She's a transgender, basically. Because look at her muscles. She's a fucking man.
Yeah, and Usain Bolt too. There's a lot of controversy around that because prior to just a few years ago, it was pretty much impossible to do the 100-meter sprint in, I think, what is it, under 20 seconds or whatever the time was. But then, just a few years ago, you have all these athletes like Usain Bolt that are just suddenly breaking these records that have been held for hundreds of years. And a lot of doctors I've read say that that's impossible without taking steroids. So obviously there's some weird thing, there's some shady business going on there.
Absolutely. And a lot of corruption and hypocrisy. I mean, even the corruption is just so thorough, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the recent, guys, I translated a video about main battle tanks, comparing the T-14 Armata, our latest tank, to NATO Abrams, Leopard 2, the Ukrainian Upload, the British Challenger, and the Chinese Type 99A2. And some guy, some YouTuber, his name is Dalek14MC, and he tried to refute my video. I made a response to his refutation. He didn't respond, and then some other guy did a response to him, and then Dalek made a response to his response. So now that other guy, his name is Red Effect, is doing a response to Deluxe response to his video. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, I found the footage.
Okay, click.
And man, I am really jealous of some of this equipment.
ما هذا قاعد وبعدين ما اعرف شو صور ما صور شيء يكون لنا
Yeah. Whoa.
Tow missiles.
شو ثاني افندي وين تليفوني حتى 160 لا هاي صور يا هذا
Yeah, go on.
Yep.
Well, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is it over?
Oh no, it just kind of lagged out there. Look, they show more equipment.
All of this equipment.
Yeah, American made too. Like.
Yeah. I can see that.
It's all in English. Like the boxes, like.
Yeah.
Like, what's this one right here? All anti-tank equipment too. You can see the flag right there.
Yeah.
بس ثواني صوره
Mortars.
Yeah. Ammo.
شو هذا؟ هاي في حصان واحد لا
Oh.
Разверни где-то было написано. Это не то здесь. Сюда было здесь.
And there you can see the full thing. Look, they got it set up. That's an American-made tow missile.
Yeah, tow missiles. Everything is in English.
Yeah, it's like arming some of the worst people, like
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Right.
So
what?
the tow missile.
Yeah, American-made tow missile.
Yeah, it's an anti-tank weapon. Like you guys got the Cornet and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
Of course.
Who's this Soviet Russia guy? Like, is he actually Russian?
Yeah, he's from Russia.
Is he a communist?
I don't know. Are you like a Eurasianist or?
Well, yes.
Yeah, he's a Eurasianist, I think.
Is it true that Russians deny the Holodomor?
Oy vey, Luis.
What?
Oh my God, he doesn't know. They covered it in history book. They covered it up.
Yeah, Luis Marrero. He's focused on certain topics. He's very autistic. I'm sorry.
Okay. So so there is nothing. There's no secret that Syria. I mean, the Syrian opposition receives a lot of stuff, a lot of equipment from the U.S. and those TOW missiles absolutely failed to destroy Syrian tanks. I mean, Syrian T-90s, not T-72s, but T-90s.
Yeah, the T-90s tend to survive.
So, what's your thoughts on Ukraine? Like, I think it's just like, they basically just, but like, just at least Ukraine should have their own sovereignty. Like, they have different cultures, and they should. If you want to make a union of different Eurasian countries, that's fine, but you have to do it voluntarily. I don't think it's right to invade other nations.
Well, Russia's not invading Ukraine, Luis.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That's a lie. Russia's not invading Ukraine.
Yeah, they're rebels.
Yeah, they're small. Like they would be like if I formed a paramilitary organization, and Vlad supported it because he was like Imperator of
Hey, don't give away our plans. This is supposed to be top secret.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But you're sending Russian troops to Ukraine. Would that count as invasion?
Excuse me?
You have to understand that most people in Donbass want to be Russian. They don't really want to be Ukrainian.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they speak Russian. They're ethnic Russians. They're not Ukrainians.
But you know why that is the reason? Because of Stalin. When he wanted to genocide the Ukrainians, he just sent a bunch of Russians to Ukraine.
Well, that's
First he starved the Ukrainians to death on purpose to stop nationalism, and then sent a bunch of Russians to immigrate to Ukraine.
There's no doubt that Stalin did those things, but the thing is, Ukraine was always Russian. I mean, if you go back to Tsarist history, it was always Russian. Like, it was even Novorossiya, even back then, I think, right?
That's like saying that California's New York.
The thing is, whether the Ukrainians were right or wrong back then doesn't count till now, because now, Russia's being pushed into a corner. They have to defend themselves, and the pro-Russian forces in Ukraine have to defend themselves. They're being shelled on a daily basis.
Should I just bring Nero because he's Ukrainian?
Oh, please don't bring Nero in, man.
I'm gonna flatten you, man. Like, that's like if we can mess with Western United States again.
I don't mean to, shock anyone on this video call, but Russian Bear, you have, authority to purge Luis if he,
No.
Yeah, I know.
Let him stay.
Yeah, let's kick his butt, man. Because, I don't think he understands really what's going on in Ukraine, like we do. You have to understand, Luis, Russia's being backed into a corner. You see, I think it was the end of World War II, it was one of the Soviet presidents gave part of the Crimea. It gave the Crimea to the Ukraine.
Khrushchev.
Yeah, Khrushchev gave Crimea.
Yeah, I'm not supporting Western Ukraine. I'm skeptical of Western Ukraine, but it doesn't believe that Ukraine should be a country.
Well, no one's saying that Ukraine can't be its own country. They're just saying that there's other parts of Ukraine that are also pro-Russian and should be part of Russia. Although
because if they want to be Russian, just move to Russia. Why you have to force an entire part of the
These are
country to join.
Luis, the people in these areas are separating. They're separating. It's like if New Jersey decided to separate from the Union because we wanted to be part of Pennsylvania, that which separated and started its own republic. It would be a situation like that. That's really what it is. They're not doing it because there's there's just this big conspiracy of evil fascist Russians hiding.
But New Jersey was always part of the Union. However, Ukraine was always creating its own country with the empire. It's one of those nations that wants,
Luis, I don't think you understand. These guys that live in these pro-Russian areas want to be part of Russia. They shouldn't have to move to Russia. They should just separate and make themselves part of Russia. Because they're close to Russia, and they don't believe the Western government really represents them. And that's the majority of people in those areas.
Yes, absolutely agree with you, Wesley. And the militias of Donbass, they fight for their freedom.
Yeah. They're fighting for their independence from the Ukrainian government, which, is not really representing them well.
Absolutely.
And in fact,
I want to go back to Eurasianism. What's your thoughts on is it true that Dugin has fascist sympathizing? Oh, sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Is it true that Dugin has some parts of his ideology that might be fascist? Like he did say something about we should bring out a fascism.
No, many people call Dugin fascist, but his fourth political theory is something different.
Yeah, but he's a part of National Bolshevik.
Ideology. It's completely new.
His ideology is just completely new. Nothing that you have ever seen, before.
Yeah.
Also, I want to know more of the economic part of Eurasianism. Is it a left wing economically, or is it more right wing?
I think it's more centrist. I'm not.
Economically, I think it's more leaning to the center, not to the right or to the left.
It's kind of center right, center left.
You mean like a mixed economy?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, just look at the Russian economy today. It's kind of like a mixed economy,
Yeah. And the people, I mean, the Western governments, this standoff with Russia-West standoff, the whole world is trying to compel us to give up, to force us to coerce us to give Crimea, and we don't give up. We don't give in, and that's what makes us feel, it makes us feel pretty badass. And just NATO's military build-up in Eastern Europe and in Asia, this will not go unresponded. This will not go unanswered. Man, because we're going to deploy S-400 system, we're going to deploy Iskander missiles. Just, we will not tolerate an openly hostile bloc on our borders. Can you see, Wesley?
Yeah. It's they don't want the globalists who are trying to instigate a third world war to instigate a third world war. That's why Putin didn't attack Turkey when they shot down that jet.
Yeah, and Turkey, and the Erdogan. I think Erdogan will change allegiance.
Yeah, that might happen. I've heard that.
Yeah, I hope it will happen, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the reason why I'm pretty pro-Russian is because the Russians are trying to prevent World War III.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, the Putin. Well, he is actually a a great statesman, and he's, you know, the only one of all those leaders in the West, or I mean, the only one of the recent leaders in Russia. Unlike Gorbachev and Yeltsin, he actually cares for the Russian national interest. National interests, I mean.
And he does, and he's really, the Russian people love Putin.
Absolutely.
His popularity rate, like, skyrocketed last year.
Yeah, this is no matter the sanctions, no matter the recession, it just doesn't change it.
Yeah, sort of like the new president of the Philippines.
Duterte?
Yeah, he's really popular among his people.
Is
Yeah.
he like a? I think is he like a communist or something like that?
No, that's disinformation. He's a national.
Why does he like does that communist fist?
Well, you have to understand, like, in like countries like the Philippines, terms like socialist and stuff sometimes are nationalist terms. They're like Strausserism and stuff like that. And I'm not a fan of socialism. I'm just pointing that out. Duterte is a nationalist. He's a, Marcos, the big anti-communist who was the president of the Philippines? Duterte put his body in a heroes museum. Marcos was a pretty good guy. Now, Duterte is a nationalist. Now, I don't agree with his socialism, but he is fighting against the globalists.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, just like Marcos did. Marcos, who was, Ferdinand Marcos, was a good guy too. He's often demonized, as being this bad guy. But they demonize a lot of leaders. I mean, like they did it to, the leader of the Chetniks, back in the day. They did it to the Tsar. Did you know that the communism didn't come to Russia through a popular uprising? The Bolsheviks actually were.
Because of the Russian Civil War.
Yeah. It was really the American Jewish capitalists that put communism in power. And I don't mean to blame all Jews.
Well, specifically Wall Street. You don't have to say Jews, just Wall Street.
But I mean, these guys were of Jewish descent. That they were, of a certain type of tribe called what's called Frankism, which is a Jewish cult. It's a religion. I don't say the word Jew through a racial lens.
But you say it through, religion.
Yeah. Now, Duterte, like Seal Drift said, he has ties to communists. Well, that's true. But Duterte himself is just using realpolitik, which means he's working with who he can to fight against, globalism. He's using realpolitik. Like, he's using, like, the tactics of, pragmatism, Carl Schmitt. But, it doesn't matter, if he's a leftist or not. The fact is that he's anti-globalist.
I have a question on another.
I
have a good question about Eurasianism, because it seems that they've been trying to make Russia like it has its own influence. At the same time, you look at Russian history, like there's many things that were inspired by the West. Such as if you go look in history, you got Peter the Great and Catherine the Great. They were all influenced by the West. Matter of fact, Peter the Great went to Europe.
Yes.
That's where he learned how to build ships, how he learned about philosophy. So they have many influence in the West. So I don't know why you're like very anti-West if Russia has a long history of Westernizing. That's maybe why, because Peter the Great just copy the Dutch flag and just swap the colors around.
You mean the tricolor? I don't think is. I think he copied the Dutch flag. The tricolor appeared actually before Peter the Great, during the times of his father, Alexei Mikhailovich, and Peter the Great adopted this as a trade flag on the Russian ships, and you know, right now communists and hardcore communists call this flag a Vlasov flag. But in fact, this flag was way before Vlasov and before Peter the Great himself. And that the Peter the Great tried to westernize Russia, yes, but he westernized only the westernized class. He westernized only nobility, the Russian noblemen. I mean the landlords, the elites, but the Russian peasantry remained pretty much traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, Wesley. Absolutely right.
Yeah, that's why, Russia today is like one of the most traditional countries on earth, which is why I admire Putin. He's like an ideal of what an American president, a conservative president, should be.
Yeah, I agree, because he's criticizing American policy, the Second Amendment, or
Putin, he's accused of being a communist, but that's that's a myth. Putin's accused of being. I heard Mark Levin say he was a fascist. That's also.
Yeah, they can't even, say who he truly is. Some people call him a communist. Other people call Putin fascist. And the third people just call him a new Hitler of 21st century.
Calling that something. And I don't see anything wrong with a man trying to bring back the Russian Empire. I think that the Russian Empire of the Tsar was a great thing. The Tsar, I think, if the Russian monarchy, we could definitely defeat the globalists if we could have, the Russian Empire return.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We need an alternative to balance, at least maybe not to defeat, but to balance up the situation, because right now it is, extremely unbalanced, in favor of the U.S. and the banksters and the New World Order.
What the U.S. needs to do is get rid of the Federal Reserve, and then the bankers would not have control over the bankers wouldn't have control of the country. So I mean, we need to really purge, get rid of the Federal Reserve and go back to the Constitution, which says, that Congress should print the currency.
You mean the Congress? What do you mean?
Our Congress is supposed to print, the currency. Usually, really coin the currency. I don't really like, paper money. I prefer it be, gold and silver currency. But as part of the thing that the claim that Putin wants to run the New World Order, I highly doubt
that's bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of disagree with that. Seal Drift, you're cool and all, but I don't think Putin wants to run the New World Order. He seems like he's a guy that's trying to fight the New World Order, and he's using his skills and his political genius, to try to combat globalism.
Wait, is this guy from Moscow? Or is it? What's this guy name? Soviet Russia?
He's a Soviet Russian bear.
Russian bear. What's his real first name?
I think Yuri, right?
Yuri?
Yes.
Wait, what part of Russia, like St. Petersburg or Moscow?
Huh? What?
Oh, I just want to know, because Russia's a big place. What part of Russia? But it's close to Moscow.
No, not Moscow, but close.
Yeah, like as far as the accusation that like Hillary and Putin are somehow working together, that's not true. Putin is trying to fight over, but you have to understand that countries do trade with each other. Like a good guy like Putin will sometimes trade with a bad person like Hillary. It's just realpolitik. Like I said, people trade with each other. You're always going to have relations. I mean, the U.S. had relations with Nazi Germany while they were fighting Nazi Germany. So I mean, it's just like a rebellious child having a relationship with his parents, yet he's still an a-hole.
Is it true that they're now promoting Stalin?
What?
Is it true that they're like downplaying Stalin?
Downplaying what?
Joseph Stalin?
No.
Because I don't know. Because I also heard in the media, I'm not saying I believe it, but I'm saying what they say. They're saying that how Putin is putting stuff in history to make Stalin like, let's say.
Putin is not the new Stalin. He is like I would say he's like the new Tsar. And there's a lot of like he was how like the British like have like what do you call it, that royal family, but it's like figurehead. He was going to bring back the Tsarists as the figureheads. I've heard that.
Why wouldn't Russia just gain like a constitutional monarchy like what happened in Spain?
And yeah, I agree with Resistcom in the chat that yes, the left-right is a false dichotomy. It's completely false.
Yeah, Russia should just gain back bring back the monarchy, but constitutional, like Great Britain.
Oh yeah, I think it should also be a constitutional monarchy based on the ideas of orthodoxy.
Yeah, we shall see, but that's up to Russian people to decide. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It should be up to the Russian people, and I don't believe in like that Putin should go invade Finland. Obviously, Stalin, when he invaded Finland, that was wrong. I think Russia should be I believe in a free market that's based according to the good of the nation. I think the good of the nation is greater than the I'm all for individual freedoms, but the nation has to come first before the individual. The nation, and the church, because you have three things that become a nation: God, family, and freedom, which make up and then you have the nation. And the nation is where the freedom takes place, and where families reproduce and produce future offspring on the soil. Where the blood, born within, the borders of the nation state. Now, I think Russia should have a strong sphere of influence in countries.
Yes, we must have a strong sphere of influence, and we will maybe regain some of our lost sphere of influence, and no one is going to stop us. And what's going to stop us will pay a price.
Yes. Yeah. I think they should have a strong sphere of influence. And I think that the U.S. we should trade with Russia and have peace with the Russians. After we defeat the the globalists, and the globalists are always going to come back because Bible prophecy says they're going to get their way. But I think the Americans should be friends with the Russians, and I think Donald Trump.
Goldrift, saying that a news site is bad because it's run by the state is not an argument. That doesn't prove that a news site is somehow objectively worse than another.
Guys, let's still drift.
Every country has state-run media. South Korea has a state-run media. England has a state-run media. It doesn't. That's total nonsense. This is just libertarian bullshit.
Okay, I'm getting tired of this guy.
What guy? Me?
No.
Sealdrift's a good guy, but I think he just he has like a very closed mind on how this stuff really operates. I am not trustworthy of any state run thing, but from what I've seen the fruits of Russia and Putin, and they've seemed to be doing a pretty good job. Now, from what I understand, that Putin took control of the oligarchs. He kicked them out, right?
Absolutely, yes, and they are tamed right now, and they are in check. They can't do anything against him or against Russia's interests. They are at risk of ending up like Mikhail Khodorkovsky.
Is it true that like because I'm going back to I'm just curious because I'm doing a video on the Holodomor soon. So, is it true that like they try to cover up the Holodomor?
Cover up?
Like I know that they try to say it's not a Russian-made famine. You know what I'm talking about, right? The man-made famine in Ukraine.
Yes, yes, I know what you're talking about.
They try to say it's a genocide.
Yes, they try to say it's genocide in order to, to stir up Russophobia.
Well, it is a genocide, but I'm not saying it's Russia's fault. It's just government because
Yes.
remember Stalin.
Yes,
Yeah, you can't hold Russia today accountable for what Russia back in the day might have done. Like it's
Understand what he.
it's stupid to hold modern day Russia accountable for the deeds of the Soviet Union and the Stalin government.
Yeah, but at the same time, Germany accepts the Holocaust. Like you should just accept the Holodomor. Like
Russia does. Like Russia doesn't officially accept some book written by some goofball like Grover Furth. Russia does, but they're constantly blasted in the media as if they don't, which is ridiculous. And I've been accused of being like an agent of Russian propaganda, which is like completely ridiculous. Like sometimes I'm critical of Russia, but like I have not seen them do anything as bad as what the globalists have done. And Russia's fighting the globalists. So I'm saying the Russians are probably the good guys.
Yeah, and guys, it's good and all, but I think we should wrap this up right now. Okay, maybe sometime later.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, it's certainly been a pleasure to talking to you. I love opinions, and I hate the two things I hate the most is stupidity and hypocrisy. I'm not against dissenting opinions. Just don't lie. Just don't insult, and don't tell lies. Don't insult me. Don't insult Russia, and don't be a hypocrite. That's pretty much it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I think we should wrap this up right now. Bye. Okay.
So yeah,
see you, man.
Can you upload it right later, bro?
Yeah.
See you, man.
Man, bye.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Yep.